The reality is that everything in Afghanistan is gray, that the intel that we had on the ground when we were there, tens of thousands strong, was always wrong. And so these false distinctions between the Taliban, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and ISIS-K, imagine it all merged and blended together. And then depending on the day and who was fighting with whom, there might be a distinction there. Or, as the other guest pointed out, it could well be that it's to their advantage to mock up a difference at any given moment in order to position themselves differently vis-a-vis Western media. And if you hear the Taliban talking about fighting climate change, there is no better way to get in good with the CNNs of the world than to say those kind of absurd things. And that's what's so frustrating about this process. Now, look, again, my real problem here in Afghanistan is not just Joe Biden's incompetence, which is very real. It's also the fact that for 18 years, we attempted to fight a war with no real strategic objective. So we found ourselves spending hundreds of billions of dollars. And ultimately, many of those billions went back to people that were trying to kill us. And at the end of the day, I make no distinction between the Taliban fighter, the ISIS-K fighter, because from one week to the next, they could be the same person. Yeah. So when you take a step back and say, what is your ability to execute targeting when you have that kind of bad intel and these kind of gray lines, it's extraordinarily limited. Right. And the real thing that we're most worried about here is ultimately, will Afghanistan return to be a terrorist training ground? Anyone from that administration, the Biden administration, that tells you that they have any sense of what's going to happen is lying.